Hello, my name's Bev, and 3 years ago I took up playing the recorder again after a 50-year gap. Here's the thing that's not related to recorder playing, only in the fact that I record quite a few of my videos in my spare room, and you might or might not be wondering what this print is of. I mean, originally it hung above my grandparents' living room fireplace in Weston-super-Mare, and I inherited it when they both passed away because I was always really fond of it. My granny used to call it the lady in the blue dress, and I always assumed, as one might, that it was of a Victorian lady sitting in her living room or sitting at a writing table or reading table. But I was totally wrong, completely wrong. It is a 20th century painting, and it was painted by an English artist in the 1930s. And it is of, I found out by looking in the back to see the name, it's called Mafalda. And so I thought I'd look up and find out more about her, and that's how I discovered that it is not a Victorian lady. It's this Princess Mafalda of Savoy. She was an Italian princess, and she married into a German royal family aristocracy. It's such a sad story. It's so tragic. It's awful. It's awful. She became quite political as fascism was on its rise, and she was eventually arrested and sent to, I think it was Buchenwald concentration camp, would you believe? And I think there was a bombing there by the Allies, and in that bombing, obviously, there were quite a few firestorms, and unfortunately, she was badly burnt, really badly burnt, and she was taken for treatment in whatever passed as the hospital at Buchenwald, which I imagine was basic to say the least. And they operated on her I think it was to amputate one or both, I can't remember which, of her arms. And she didn't recover. She bled to death. And she left, I think, 2 young children. It is such a sad story. And another thing it says on the back of that painting is that it's the actual original is in Bradford art galleries. So we went to try and find it. We visited every single Bradford art gallery. Earlier this year. And we couldn't find it, and we inquired about it, and no one had heard of it. So I imagine the original painting of Mafalda is sitting in a basement somewhere in Bradford, waiting to be put on the wall somewhere and for her story to be told. Such a tragic, awful story. So that is Mafalda. And I actually Googled the artist, and I think Mafalda is the best of all his paintings. It is lovely. But that mirror, there's a mirror with a bird of prey on top and 2 candles either side, and it actually appears in in his other paintings in different places. It can be above a fireplace, whatever. So it was obviously a prop. So I presume the whole thing was a prop. I don't know as yet. You might know, and if you do know, please post it in the comments below. Why Mafalda was presumably either in England or the artist took all his stuff over to wherever she happened to be in Europe to paint this. I imagine it was her on a visit to England because of his props, etc. If you know anything more about this, and if you work for Bradford Art Galleries and you know where the original painting is, because I'd love to see it, please do post a comment below. I like stories like that. I find them really fascinating, make me want to find out more. But you'll find links to the story of Mafalda below. There was even a film made, I think it's in Italian, it's not in English anyway, all about her life. I've watched bits of it. I don't speak that language, so it's a bit difficult to follow, but it's a very sad story. Thank you for listening to this.